Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I am about to do a demonstration on how to do expansion brain spotting. Now, expansion brain spotting is different than typical brain spotting. It's a tool to help you expand the highest possibilities of reaching your desired goals and dreams. So this can be used with athletes to play at their best, for executives to reach their career goals, or performers to improve their performance. It can also be used to manifest your dreams, whether it's your vision board, abundance, finding a happy, healthy relationship, or just completing a task that you've been putting off that you don't want to do, but to help you. And the other thing that it can do, which I love, is it can help you bring back the part that you love that you wish you had back. So if you think about how you might have been as a child when you had this great imagination of possibilities of what could come true, it helps put that back. So I hope you enjoy this. To explain a little bit of how this works, where you look affects how you feel. So if you notice when you ask someone to recall a name or an address, they'll look in a certain direction and go, oh yeah, I think that person's name is, and then they'll look in a certain direction. Now, the reason why we do that is where you look will actually be a portal to that part of your brain where you store that information. Okay. Now, it also happens when you ask someone about the future. Let's say someone's about to go on a dream vacation. Where would you like to go? Oh gosh, I would really love to go to Hawaii. Notice how my eyes went in a certain direction. So again, that's accessing the part of forward thinking and possibilities of what can happen. All right. The thing that's so great about this is that it can be done in a group setting. And so I will show you how this is done with a group online. Now, each of these people who are participating, none of these are my clients at all. These are just gracious people who are volunteering their time. The majority of them are actually licensed therapists. And what I'm going to do is go through some of the questions on what it is that they're hoping that they can achieve, what's possible. So, Camille, what is something that you are hoping to get out of this? What do you want to have more of?
I am reorganizing my finances, and I find this is very difficult for me. I get overwhelmed, I shut down, and I'm working with my daughters, and they're asking hard questions that need to be asked, and I want to be able to move through it with a sense of calmness and abundance instead of getting frightened and shutting down.
Okay, I love that. That's great. Okay, Linda, what is something that you're working on? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I would like to absolutely say yes to life every day, whether that's work related or fun related or solving problems, but just to say yes and go for it and do my best.
I love that. So go for it and do your best. That's awesome. Great. So the other two, they wrote down what they're working on as well. What I'm going to do next is help them find the spot where they think of that expansive possibility of it actually happening. So I have my pointer stick here. All right. So let me know if you can't find your spot, but I'm going to try to help them locate the spot in the direction where they look, where they think of all those possibilities of being able to occur with ease. Okay, so I want you all to take a moment and look here and see how that feels. And notice and pay attention to what you feel, any body sensations. If you feel lighter, if it feels more expansive, then that's a good spot. Okay. Now I'm going to have you look in the center. Okay. And look over here. Now you can actually look off the screen if you feel like your spot is more over here and it's not on this, this visual screen. Feel free to look past your monitor. Okay. Now try looking up. And then try looking down. And if you need to look at the floor, that's fine too. Now, some people, it's not necessarily in this XY axis. Sometimes there's spots over here. So if you notice that your eyes, like for me, when I was thinking about a vacation, I was looking way past my monitor and I was looking in this direction. So if you notice your eyes want to look in a certain direction when you think about possibilities, then try that and see if that feels a little bit lighter in your body. Okay. Who has not found the spot where they feel expansive? And I'll help you find it. You can just raise your hand. Do y'all have it? Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, great. Now I want you to bookmark that spot. Now the next spot that I want you to identify and locate is who you are as a soul. Okay, this is your true self spot, your soul spot. So again, I'll go through the process here. And if you have to look off screen, that's fine. And in the middle. And over here. And looking up. And then looking down. I know I'm going a little fast. It's for demonstration purposes, but I'll help you find your spot if you haven't found it. Okay. And if it's not on that XY axis, think about who you are as a soul and where do your eyes naturally want to gaze and look. Can I get a thumbs up if you all found your soul spot? Okay. Right. You got it. Okay. So you have the choice, the option, if you want to listen to bilateral music while we do this, you can. If you find it distracting, you don't have to listen to it. But what I want you to do is pendulate between the two spots. So when you're looking at your soul spot and you feel like, okay, I feel good, I'm ready to look at my possibilities. Then you look at your expansion spot for a while and you can be on that spot for as long as you want. And then when you feel like you need to go back to the soul spot to identify who you are as a soul, you can do that too. But what I want you to think about is when you go to your expansive spot, it's the possibilities are limitless. They go to infinity. So on a scale from 0 to infinity, infinity, you believe at the most, 0, not at all. Where are you at with that scale? So I want you to identify where it is when you start off, and then at the end, if it expanded. Okay? All right. So I want you to go ahead and start with either spot that you'd like to start off with. So what was that like?
Well, I will jump in.
Great.
I felt like I was striving at first, like I had to get it. I had to get the spot. I had to do this, the striving. So I was in my soul spot, striving. It's like, what does it feel like here? And then just the search.
It was a search.
And then eventually, yeah, kind of a search. And then as I went to the 0 to infinity, the possibility, went to that spot, and I felt a sense of anything's possible. However, I was still striving. So right before we finished, the last few minutes, what I noticed was I came back to a more comfortable spot with my eyes, with both, and a more gentle, and it just all came together. It was like, oh, I can have this because I've decided I can have it, and I don't have to strive.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I, whatever that is, I will see.
Yeah, that's great. So did you have a number pop into your head, like from 0 to infinity, or was just kind of like that overriding feeling you felt in your body?
It was more, I felt it very strongly in my body, my center,
Center
where it felt like it held me in a grounded way.
in a grounded way.
I, okay, so I felt solid.
Good.
So I could go explore. A number, no, but I did get from the start, it's as close to infinity as I choose to go, I
Mhm.
get to go there. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's great.
not a number, but it's about just go for it. And I don't know what else to say. That sounds so simple, but
Hey, if it propels you forward, that's all that matters. I love it. Thanks for sharing, Linda.
you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Camille?
I started with the expansion spot. And it was kind of like lists going, some lists maybe. And I'm going, well, that's okay. Yeah, there's things you need to do and images were coming. But I wasn't getting anxious about them,
Oh, nice.
which I have been doing. And it's some of the same images, but I was able to just kind of go, okay, yep, okay.
Mhm.
So I stayed there a while. And then I moved to the soul spot, and it's like, wow, just download and well, of course you can do this, of course. And it's almost like Linda's, well, of course you can have it all, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, it's just of course. And
I,
then I went back to the expansion spot. So I was going back and forth. And what I noticed is that the energies started to merge.
oh, it
So
merged.
the soul spot and the kind of doing expansion spot were merging into, well, of course, and I could still see the images, but that just got much, much
Larger.
larger and expansive, and like, well, of course, and this and this. And so all these other things that have been of concern started coming in, like it's all just, well, of course.
I love that. I think
Yeah.
that's great.
So it just ended up feeling very expanded in my body, very grounded, and more
Grounded.
like the two spots were combining. And I also, the last 3 minutes, I got so hot.
Oh, you got so hot. You had a lot of
So
stuff
hot,
moving around,
a
huh?
lot of movement. Yeah, I just got really hot. So I was just noticing that as the physical experience of having these two spots working together.
Yeah, the two spots working together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So
I
for
found it,
those, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I found it tempting to stay over with expansion with just kind of the ideas, the mundane
Sure,
stuff. And
sure.
it's like, oh, wait a minute, there's another perspective. I'm
Uh-huh.
glad you did. And I've done this before, but still it's like, oh, wait, there's another perspective here. So
Another perspective.
I
Yeah,
noticed that of needing to make a choice to just get off the mundane part.
off the mundane part.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, it does. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you all participating. If you have, those of you who are watching, if any of you have questions about brain spotting, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, thanks for watching.